Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. I'm in my exotic tropical jungle border, which is not looking anything like an exotic tropical jungle at the moment. Behind me, all wrapped up for the winter, are my Musa Basjoo, my hardy green bananas. Just here to my left is a Tetrapanex, which was wrapped up and has been unwrapped, and I'm going to show you something on that in a moment. That's a Cyathocuperi. It's another type of fern, but it's not hardy like tree ferns. And underneath all that waste material there are dozens of other plants waiting to burst out. Now, last year at the end of the summer, probably getting into the end of the autumn actually, I cut everything down to the ground and all the waste matter I piled on top to hopefully give it some protection. And that's the only protection this exotic tropical border has had this winter, with the exception of the plants that you can see behind me, which I definitely did protect. I'm seeing if I can get away with it. A couple of years on the run now, I've put lots of manure down and weed fabric and put a layer of protection. This time I've really just dropped all the cuttings down. And I'm hoping that because it's in an enclosed courtyard here and it's relatively protected from the extremes of the weather, many of the plants here will survive. I've got things like the Tetrapanex here, which was protected. And the objective there was to keep the height. And I'll show you in a moment, there's evidence of growth up at this level here, so that's worked. There's a Tetrapanex pup down there, which I didn't protect. I will assume that that will grow back from the ground this year. In this video, I'm going to unwrap the Musa Basjoo, the hardy green bananas, which are behind me, wrapped in insulation. This insulation is made out of recycled plastic bottles. Again, the objective here, last winter when I did this, was to retain the height. Hardy green bananas are hardy, but they are actually only root hardy. So the roots will survive the winter, but if you don't protect the trunk, which is actually a pseudo trunk, I'm repeating myself from several old videos, the trunk of the banana is actually just leaves. It's a big herb actually, so it's made out of leaf matter, but it looks like a trunk, but it's a pseudo trunk. It's not a true trunk, it's not woody. And if you let that freeze, it goes soggy and falls to the ground, but because it's a hardy green banana, it will grow back from the ground, but you lose all the height. So my objective here was to retain the height. I've got my scissors here because today's the day I'm going to get in there and unwrap these Musa Basjoos, and we'll see together whether it looks like we've been successful at protecting the pseudo trunks from the cold weather. I'll bring the camera in a bit closer so that you can see better as I unveil what's beneath this recycled bottle insulation. Now you can see here that these have been wrapped with insulation and tied up with string. There was another layer of protection. There was some black horticultural fleece around these, but that blew away. And so this is how they've been protected. So I'm now going to take the scissors and unveil what's beneath. It seems like only yesterday when I did this, but it is several months ago actually. I think it was probably October time when I actually protected these. When you get the first warnings of any frost, you rush out and you protect your bananas, but it does seem like a very short period of time ago. But a lot has happened since I did this. Right, here it comes. I can feel that that's quite sturdy and steady, so I'm hopeful that this hasn't turned to mush underneath here. And I'll very carefully step to the back where I know there's no plants. And I also put some fleece over the top, and the objective of the fleece at the top here was to stop water penetrating from above. Because the drier you can keep these through the winter, in my opinion, the better. Any water that gets in there and really makes this soggy will take longer to dry out and longer to warm up, and it might be kind of a store of cold. So you really want to sort of keep them protected from the cold, but also protected from the wet. Right, here we go. Off it comes, another piece of string there. Several more pieces of string. Oh, now I've just remembered, I'm looking at this now, I've just remembered that I double wrapped a banana here. There's a small one here beneath as well. Look, can you see there? These send out pups. There's the original plant and there's a pup, which is already a good size in its own right. And as I remove this insulation, I'll just throw it to one side for now. There we have a pup. It feels firm enough. It doesn't feel soggy. It doesn't feel wet. And we've got a green shoot appearing at the top. Now that might be last year's green shoot, I don't know. What I'll be doing with these now is I'll be gently introducing water to these, and hopefully with a bit of water and heat. That will inspire them to start growing again, and the growth will appear at the top, like that there. It'll come out of the top, and therefore we'll have leaves at a much higher level. I'm going to go and get some manure from my neighbour's ponies. He's got a manure pile, and I'll take it from the back so it's slightly more well rotted, and I'm going to top dress all this with manure. That will feed these very, very hungry plants. Right, I'm going to unwrap the others now, see what we've got there. I'll do these in fast forward, and then I'll talk to you in about 30 seconds when they're all unwrapped, because there are other parts of this border which I want to show you. I want to show you the growth on the Tetrapanex for one thing. Watch this in fast forward for about 30 seconds. Well, I'm very pleased because they all feel very, very sturdy. And the way these grow is they kind of stick a new leaf up from the centre. You can see there's the old leaf all crumpled. Now that is going to prohibit it from starting growing. So I've got a bread knife here out the kitchen, and I'm just going to slice the top off. It's like slicing through a leek. And in there, I'll show you a close-up, is a lovely fresh green leaf that will start to come out just like that did. And that's where the growth will start from on that one. So I will now do the same on all of these. I'll just take the top off. There's a green leaf inside of that. And as you can see there, cross section of a green leaf in there. That green leaf is like a leek, and it will unfurl and grow up into the air. And it looks alive to me. I'm very happy. Last but not least, I'll do this one. Once again, green. So I think my attempts to protect these have worked. I'll get them watered, I'll get them mulched, and in about 2 or 3 weeks, probably even days actually, we'll see them growing, providing we get some nice warm weather. Now there's a caveat. If we have any forecasts of severe cold, I'll be out here protecting them again. I just can't wait to get this done in the springtime, so I might be a bit premature, but any forecasts of very cold weather, I'll be straight back out and I'll put some protection over these trunks. I don't think it's going to happen. Right, let me just show you a couple of other things in this border which are signs of life and the signs that spring is definitely upon us. And the first is here with this Tetrapanex. Look, I think the top leaf is probably a goner. The trunk there looks hard and woody, but just look here. Just look at my fingertip there. Can you see? Let's hope the camera can focus in on that there. I'll try and adjust it so it can focus. There's a little green stubby leaf just starting to appear there. And the same is true on the next trunk. Can you see there? I'll put my hand behind to try and get a plane for the camera to focus on, and then we should hopefully see new leaves coming here at the top of the branch. Now they do say that these don't like to be wrapped too tightly. They like a bit of fresh air in the winter, and they are supposed to be quite hardy. But to try and retain the height there, I did wrap this in some insulation like that one was wrapped, and it seems to have done the job. There's another leaf there, another there, and another there. So again, watch this space, because probably in a few weeks time with some warm weather, up it'll spring. Cyathea cooperi, lacy fern, which has come out of cold storage. That's been in a shed. And then here we've got all the evidence of last year. Now underneath here there are some cannas. And hopefully at some point in the very near future we'll see evidence of growth. There's something coming up there, but I don't think it's a canna. It's a little bean. Nothing yet. Down here we have pink china. There are the corms of the pink china. They're very hardy, so they'll come back, no doubt about that. They just need a bit of water on them. What's this here? Now that there is a red dragon. I think that, the plant's over there, but I don't think this has run to here. I think that's possibly a bit of stuff that we've chopped up and dropped, and it's taken root. Very easy to eat. This is Crinium, Thwellii, already displaying some signs of growth. And if you look inside of there, there's green, and there's green down there. These clips of video are always good for posterity. Now, I actually left down in here Colocasia. It remains to be seen whether it comes back. It's down there somewhere, and there's another one down there in that corner. And you can see here, all covered up, waiting to emerge. I'm not sure what that is, but it seems to be growing. So there you go, Musa Basjoo unwrapped, solid, not rotten, very, very hopeful. The border looks an absolute mess, but of course I will share some more images with you in a few weeks' time when it's been refreshed with some manure and watered, and everything will spring into life. I love this time of year. The weeks running up to this are the worst time of year for me, but this time of year now, as we come out of winter into spring and summer, just love it. Hope you've enjoyed that and found it interesting. Please do subscribe and hit the notifications bell if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you soon for some more exotic, tropical, jungle, border adventures. Bye for now.